Team talks in sport. In Mind How You Go, there's a short series where I illustrate a number of different styles of team talk that I've either used or witnessed. Team talks are a fascinating area for exploring influence, exercising persuasion, juggling mental states, or just stating the obvious. However, almost everyone who is involved in delivering team talks underestimates the vulnerability and susceptibility of their listeners. If you're in any doubt, can I remind you of the England v Wales clash in the 2008 Six Nations Rugby Series? Half-time score 16-6 to England. Full-time score 19-26. It was Wales's first win at Twickenham for 20 years. Something clearly happened in each changing room in terms of the respective team talks. This particular team talk is a pre-match team talk, and I've called it the 4 Cartesian Questions. One week I started my pre-match few words to the team I coach by mentioning the butterfly effect, which pre-framed my point of invitation for the players' thoughts. So, for example, does the flap of a butterfly's wings in Sao Paulo set off a series of events to eventually alter the path of a hurricane in the Caribbean? As thoughts on this were rattling around inside for them, I sprung the 4 Cartesian questions and decided to frame them in rugby terms. 1. What will happen if you do make that tackle? 2. What won't happen if you do make that tackle? 3. What will happen if you don't make that tackle? 4. What won't happen if you don't make that tackle? So how effective was this? In terms of performance, things went really well through warm-up and overall through the game. There were some momentary slips, but the general level of decision-making throughout the team was much, much better. I did not ask the players how they felt about the pre-talk, if anything, because most of my talks are A, aimed at the unconscious, and B, are metaphorical and non-motivational. We lost by 1 point to a side who had beaten us convincingly earlier in the season, so in outcome terms there was a huge improvement. We should have won, to be fair, but failed to take opportunities presented late in the game. The 4 Cartesian questions do set up interesting trains of thought for all players, especially the inexperienced ones, and it certainly depotentiates their feelings of singularity, which are so destructive in a 15-man team game. The belief that they and only they can change the course of the game by, in effect, trying to do too much every time they have the ball in hand. So, they only have to consider beating their wings to make changes.